the 25. They'll run on first down. Conley, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Fields now to throw. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A play fake. Now Fields to throw. And firing a deep ball for Kmet. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. These two division rivals, a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10. And it was the Bears getting the road victory. So they'll look now to take the season series here at Soldier Field. Fields going to get this to Montgomery. And just shutting him off there. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Fields throwing again. Escaping the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the 29, Fields. Caught by Montgomery. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd down, Conley. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Here's Fields. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4 down, Terry?
Now the ball comes loose, and this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. No doubt they were hoping for 7 points out of this drive, CD. The good news, they could at least salvage 3 because that ball went bouncing out of bounds.
Yeah, how about the bounce that they got? They kept them in field goal range. You're exactly right. They get a chance to get 3 points out of it and not cost themselves.
Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with 1st downs on each play.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Swift. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Running is Swift. He gets away from 1. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Here's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And so going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. From the gun, he'll hand this off. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. And let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. On second down now. Conley, twisting away. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that run. Oh, that's impressive.
And we saw a lot of that a week ago when he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Bears on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Fields. And that will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? On play action, Rodgers sliding out of the pocket. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Open man is Quintez Cephas. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down, and the Bears will get the football back. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. To throw is Fields. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
On 1st down, it's Fields. Eluding the pressure right. And he finds Montgomery complete. Gets through, and now an opening. And he's going to get this inside the 30. On first down, Fields. That's caught by Montgomery. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. One play action, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. Touchdown, Chicago! Darnell Mooney as the first half is winding down. And the Bears would extend their lead here just before halftime. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And down it goes just shy of the 25. Now penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position. Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well. And he's got room. There he goes right side. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered. How did they get that done? The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign. That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here. They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played.
These two teams currently going over their final halftime adjustments. We are just about set to get back to it in the second half. And for the call, let's go back to Soldier Field and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Throwing now is Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That's taken on the 25. So possession goes... on the punt, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Swift. Swift's got the first down and then some. And finally, down at the 36-yard line. 147 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Back to the running game with Swift. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, it's Rodgers. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Meanwhile, Fields throw complete there to Bateman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Now Rodgers. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Rodgers now to throw. Rolling to his right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Quintez Cephas hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Lions have tied it. If they hit the extra point, they'll have the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown. Cole Kmet with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. He gets this complete to Cephas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. picked off at the 33. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Chicago. On second down, Swift. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 172 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. They'll run here with Swift. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Throwing is Rodgers. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
On play action, now Rodgers. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers dancing to his left. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Rodgers. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off down at the 10. And the Bears have just about sewn up this football game. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd down at 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Conley. And this will be a Bears first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Bears, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the rough season continues as they plunge to 1-13. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in